Okay, tonight I'm going to show y'all how I make my wool felt dahlia flowers. This one has bling in all the petals, as I hope you can see. This one also has 9 petals, the felt bow, and is attached to an alligator clip on the back, so it can be attached to headbands. This is one without the bling. Pretty much the same, and I haven't attached anything yet. They work well on elastic headbands or hard headbands, or I guess you could probably even put it on an alligator clip and just clip it straight into the hair if you had like a bun on the back of your head you wanted to put it on. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get your wool blend felt and cut out the amount of petals and the bow template that you need. I have mine, instead of using paper, I have mine cut out on quilter's template plastic. And for this one, I'm only doing 6 petals. It's for my daughter to match this pretty little outfit that she got for her birthday. So you're going to want to cut out equal number of each size petals because they're going to stack on top of each other. And then you're going to cut out one of each of the pieces of the bow templates. Okay, I'm going to start by assembling the base with the elastic headband. I just kind of cut a rough size, what size I think I'll need for the base. And that's what we're going to glue all of the petals and the bow onto. You can always go back after you get it and kind of trim around the edges. So first I'm going to glue my headband part down. I'm just going to put a big blob, or not a big, but you know, a blob in the center and press my skinny elastic into it. Make sure it's straightened out and everything. Put a little bit more down and put the other side, kind of cross them over. And then when I put the headbands on, so that I don't have to add extra elastic to account for them not stretching because they're glued down, I just put one big blob in the center. And glue my piece of felt that I'm going to use for over it right on top of that blob. And then I straighten out the elastic and basically leave a tunnel for the elastic. I just glue this down on the edges so that it's secure and it keeps the headband like close to the head, but leaves room for the elastic to stretch. Okay, so there's the base for the headband. Elastic still stretches nicely. And I'm just going to glue my petals down directly on top of this. So we're going to set it to the side. These are what the petals look like assembled. I actually just created a new template that leaves extra to make it easier to either glue or sew the bottom. The one I was using before did not have this extra tab on the bottom, which meant every single time I tried to glue one, I was burning my fingers real bad. So I changed it up a little bit and did it this way. But I'm going to show you how to put them together. You take your biggest petal, take the middle petal, just put a little glue on the back of it, nothing crazy. Try to align the bottom right above the tab and try to get the points as close to the same direction as you can. Then just do the same thing with your next petal. A little bit of glue, lay it down, and go ahead and do it with this one. Line up the bottom right above the tab. Try to keep the points going the same direction. Line that one up with the bottom of the middle petal. Okay. After you get to this point, you can either fold it over in glue, which there's a good chance that you're going to burn your fingers when you do it that way. Or since I've added the tabs, it's a great way to actually sew it. I start at the back so that my knot on the end of my thread is the back. Just go up and through both layers a few times and then tie it off at the back. And it really doesn't need anything wonderful because you're going to glue it down. So I just kind of loop back through the felt and then back through my thread. Get a little knot and then trim that off. I don't know how well you can see that, but just fold it over and knot it on the back. I'll do it again with this one. Put a new knot in my thread. Fold one side over. Fold the other side of the tab over on top of that. And then just a few real quick stitches up through both layers. Trim it. I kind of fold them a little bit to kind of get them in a better shape because I like them to be a little bent. But once you get them on here, they'll start kind of doing that by themselves. So I start with the center back petal. And I don't use a whole lot of glue to begin with, just enough to hold it down. Put that right in the center. And then I take one of my side petals, whichever side you prefer to do first is fine. Kind of lift up the side of this petal and squish that one in pretty close, where it kind of turns just a little so that they all get the nice kind of rounded shape. Another one of your petals. They all meet nice and even in the center. Now for the second layer, start in the center again and overlap so that, but make sure you can still see the smallest of your back petals. And then just do the same thing with both of your side petals that you did with the first layer. Pull that up a little. Glue that down where the bottoms, the tips line up. Sometimes you just kind of have to play with it to get it all shaped like you want it. But it's felt, so it's very forgiving. Once you get it kind of, or they're bent up like you like them, and you get everything in place, I go back and pull the two layers, open it up like a mouth, and add some glue on the white felt that I've got back here, and fold it back up. You do want to make sure that when it's wrapped around the head, if it's on a headband, because it's going to kind of go around the head a little bit, that it's not going to come apart where you can see the backing fabric. Which is why I do this. I also I like to put just a little bit of glue in between my petals, just to help them stay exactly how I have them placed. I don't want them to come undone or start sliding on top of one another. So I just put just a small dab, just enough to hold them where I want them. Once you get all that done, I just suggest kind of going back through it and kind of doing that just a little and check and see where you need to add more glue so that you can't see anything. Like maybe over the bottom of these petals so that you don't see the knots you made with the stitches. And that petal will just kind of stay on over it. So there's, since I'm only doing 6 petals, here's the base of ours. Next, we're going to assemble the bow. And you can do this with glue or with a needle and thread. I'm just going to do it with glue because it's easy, it's quick, and it holds just fine. So there's a little tab on the end, and that lines up with the center of the bow. Just a dab of glue on that side, and fold it right over the other tab. So there's our bow. Now to get the backing part of the bow, you got these tails, and you just glue the bow right down on top of the tails. Try to get it even kind of in the center. And then you've got this part, you just wrap around. If you want, you can add a dab of glue in the center to kind of help hold it in place. And wrap that around to the back and glue it down. This is another watch out, or you're going to glue your fingers to the bow and it's going to burn kind of moment. So be careful. I kind of fluff mine up a little bit and glue it down back here just to help it keep its shape the way I want it. Okay, here's our bow. I glue it right down over the points of the flowers above it, but this is, our base is too big, so how I trim it. Headband out of the way. I try to keep it pretty rounded. So once you get it trimmed down to the size you need, some glue right over the center of your bow. Put it on there where it's going to hide your stitches pretty well. Glue it down however much you feel you need to glue it down. I really am a fan of enough glue to keep my 1-year-old from destroying it. So there it is put together. I have a pretty gemstone button that I took the back off of, the shank. I cut it off. You can either stick it in the center of the bow, or I kind of like mine up between the bow and the petal. Glue it down. If you like bling in the center of the petals, I just buy, Hobby Lobby has little square blings You can buy individually over in the jewelry section, or you can buy them like on stems with the wedding, where they keep the tool and all the little pieces you can put inside like the bouquets. You just cut them right off the wire. And I just put a little tiny dab of glue and stick them down inside of each petal just to give it a little extra bling. But here is our finished headband. Not difficult, just a little time consuming. Hopefully that helped everybody. I'm going to try to get my template uploaded to Google Docs, and then I'll post a link to it in the comments of the video. So if you don't have a template or you don't want to try to make one yourself, you're more than welcome to use mine. Please just don't try to use it as your own. Don't claim that it's your template, please. Thank you. I hope y'all have a great night.